Up if he get out the way. Top of the morning to y'all. Figure I'll chop it up with everybody, man. What we gonna talk about, man? I gotta talk about Jason Tatum real fast. Jason Tatum just came out and said that Giannis is no longer the best player in the league. And he said he was. Jason Tatum, man, I've always liked Jason Tatum. I've always liked his game. I know some people, they think that he's a Kobe wannabe, but why wouldn't you want to be like Kobe? Or why wouldn't you want to pattern your game after Jordan? Now, I don't think he's quite there yet. I think he's gotten better over time with his defense, because I did watch Tatum a lot. I watched him mature. And you know, it's funny. After they had made it far that year. I think it was the Eastern. I think they made it to the conference finals, and then somehow, you know, they kind of got lost in the shuffle. I had to realize something, though. Jason Tatum is only 25 years old. That nigga ain't nothing but 25 years old. That's the crazy thing. But he's been in the league 7 years. And a lot of people feel like he should have won a championship right now, or you know, they feel like he should have won like 2 championships, which is crazy, you know. It was a lot of things going on, in Boston, you know, but I held Jason Tatum accountable for what he was doing. I felt like not last season, but the season before that, the like past 2 seasons before last season, he was doing a lot of shot jacking, and he was taking a lot of shots that were highly inefficient, man. But he said that Giannis is no longer the best player in the league. I still give it to Giannis, though. I still got to give it to Giannis, man. You know, I know some people, man, they really don't like Giannis. I don't know what it is about Giannis that people can't stand, man. You know, I know, you know, the guy, he's not a Steph Curry. He doesn't play similar to a LeBron James. I mean, there are some similarities when you talk about the way he goes through the lane, and I'm talking about an early LeBron when he was going through the lane. You could compare that, but I give it to Giannis because he's still able to play both ends of the floor. You could even give it to Kawhi. The only thing with Kawhi is I would like to see him do this more consistently. I'm talking about year after year. Kawhi Leonard, at one point we can argue about this, we can debate that he was the best player in the league at one point. And I know some people are gonna bring up the fact that Kawhi Leonard, what's up with it? Think Tank, what's up with it, Mike? I'm trying to stay on this road, y'all. I ain't forgot about y'all. What's up with it, y'all? Salute to y'all, everybody that come in here. Hey, Ted, man, I gotta rinse your ass up, man. I gotta rinse you up, man. Salute to everybody that come in this morning. Make sure y'all share this video and make sure y'all hitting them likes too, okay? We only got one like. Let's get the likes up. But what was I saying? Yeah, I always think that a two-way player should be considered the best in the league because of the work that they put in. Kobe was the best in the league. They just didn't want to give him that title, especially after that whole Colorado BS. And it's funny, I was talking about that yesterday with a friend of mine about Colorado. This was the thing about Kobe. What's up? Oh shit! The real Memphis in the building. Hey, we gotta talk about your girl Glorilla, the real. Shout out to the real T. Remind me to rinse your ass up too, man. I gotta, I'm driving right now. But like I was saying, with Kobe, people ain't gonna believe it. Anytime I see somebody trying to be like somebody or trying to pattern their game after somebody, I'm like, man, who is this dude? Who does this dude think he is? Trying to be like Jordan and everything. And what made me really start liking Kobe was two things. When Kobe, he got booed at the All-Star game, right? And I mean, he was still playing, still doing dynamic shit, right? And still playing against the boos. Then another thing is when the Lakers. I don't think a lot of y'all realize when the Lakers were winning during that time, especially when they repeated, they weren't being cheered for. A lot of people were booing them. They were booing Shaq and they were booing Kobe. But I think what put the icing on the cake for me to like Kobe was two more things. He did a 360, and everybody talk like they Kobe fans, but you can't name no type of memories about Kobe. You don't even know the ups and downs of Kobe. Don't even know his workout regimen. Don't know shit about that. That's what trips me out. Oh man, well I know the statistics and I know the analytics and stuff like that. Yeah, but do you know anything about this man? Do you know anything about the personal life? Do you know about what went on off the court? They only, you go by media shit. But anyways, Kobe 360 on Jay Will, White Chocolate. Shout out to White Chocolate. He 360'd on him when he playing for the Grizzlies. At that time, it's the Vancouver Grizzlies, I think. And he 360'd on him, and then he gave him the ball. And everybody was booing him. I remember that. And I was like, wow, this guy is amazing. And of course, when that whole Colorado stuff was happening, everybody turned on Kobe. Everybody turned on Kobe. There were people, of course, the players were like, he's the best in the league and everything. But everybody, the media, everybody turned on him, the fans, the fans that he had. And then he was getting booed at every arena, but still dropping 40, still dropping 50, still dropping 81 on their head. You said Kobe. said Giannis trained by Stockton, rookie year. Kid, okay, yeah. She acting out, talking about she want Dame. Well, let me talk about Glorilla for a second. I'm gonna talk about Glorilla. Glorilla ain't ugly, man. She's not an ugly female. Matter of fact, I really don't think that she should have had surgery. But she wanted to get her body done. That's what she did. I guess she wanted to appear to be more thick or whatever. But there was nothing wrong with her. It's just some people can't stomach what she said. Kobe 2006 Game 7 with a black eye on his career. Yep. Nah, but anyways, I don't see really no problem with it. And Dame can do what he wants. He a grown man. That nigga Dame is a grown man. People don't understand what Dame is going through a lot, but you gotta be able to separate that. Now that's another thing. Shout out to the brother Ticket TV. He was talking about Dame, and I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, it's not that easy to stomach this or to get over this or to you got to have your mind right and everything." Hey, there's like Ticket was saying. He said that there's a lot of people that have suffered the loss of family members. There's people that are going through much more tragedy in their lives than what Dame is going through. And you do got to be able to play through all of that. One thing I could give Doc Rivers, and I'm going to talk about Doc Rivers too. I'm going to talk about his ass too right now. Doc Rivers, I'm going to get on him in a minute. But Doc Rivers said this. He said, it don't matter what you're going through. People don't care, like especially when you're in the NBA. But that applies to the NBA, NFL. They will use any psychological advantage that they can to get an edge and to get that win. Real talk. They'll use any psychological advantage that they can to get that win. I gotta go through these comments. Hold on. Now, with Doc Rivers, man, JJ Redick, man, and Austin Rivers, man, I gotta talk about that shit, man. Oh man. Now shout out to Duke. That's my squad. I always fuck with Duke. Okay. And JJ Redick went on a tirade, man, talking about how Doc doesn't take accountability and he throws his players under the bus and all this other stuff, Now what I was saying yesterday is there is some truth to that, but a lot of it, man, I felt like, JJ Redick is kind of he's being kind of salty about a lot of things too. I didn't mention that in the video. But he is right about a lot of stuff when it comes to Doc. It doesn't take away from Doc as a coach. What you say? You say you like Austin Rivers? Yeah, I like, man. Look, I like Austin Rivers. Um, I mean, he didn't pan out like I quite hoped that he would, because people got to realize, as I've said this in another video, I said that coming out of high school, Austin Rivers was like the number one. Sometimes he would be ranked in that top 5 somewhere. It was interchangeable, but I remember him being in that top 5 coming out of high school, and then he ended up going to Duke, and he had a man. He was balling at Duke. I thought that Austin Rivers was going to pan out, but it doesn't take away from anything that Austin Rivers did. Now, he did run his mouth a lot. He did talk a lot of trash. That I will say. He talked a lot of hellified shit. What up, TJ? How you feeling, man? Man, I don't never see your ass no more, man. But it's all good. Salute to TJ. Y'all go subscribe to TJ Boxing. I know him as TJ Boxing. But TJ loves sports. And we got to talk about boxing too. But anyway, to get back on Austin Rivers. Austin Rivers, man, he was a nice guard, man, coming out of Duke, and I thought that he was gonna have an impact, but it goes to show you he wants to sit up there and he wants to talk about JJ Redick though. Well, you prove pretty much a lot of people right that a lot of Duke players don't really pan out in the league, and that's my school. But I remember a North Carolina fan had said that. Shout out to the North Carolina Tar Heels. It's no love lost on the Tar Heels. I fucked with the Tar Heels too. But if you notice, a lot of the North Carolina Tar Heels, they produce better NBA players than Duke. You could build around a North Carolina player more so than a Duke player, with the exception of maybe a Kyrie Irving. Zion Williamson is here and there, and then of course Grant Hill before he got injured. Hey man, we all doing that shit. You said Red was a hey, that's a fact. Austin Rivers had a couple of his. Hey, I like that right there. Hey Ted, Austin Rivers said this. He said JJ Redick, his best years were with the Clippers. He only averaged I think it was 16, which is that's still pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It ain't superstar level, but for what he was doing, I mean, he averaged 16, but his best years were when he was with us, with the Sixers. Because he was averaging 17 and 18. And I think the year before that, when he was with the Pelicans, he had averaged 15 or something like that. Y'all can fact check me if I'm wrong. But yeah, you can't. I mean, Austin Rivers is right when you said you can't build around a guy like JJ Redick, which it's a fact. But you can't build around Austin Rivers either, because you weren't that good as a main player at the pro game, at the pro level. I mean, you weren't what they call a superstar. You actually started to turn into pretty much a role player. So you can't be hypocritical, Austin Rivers. You said Redick was 47, 40, and 90 from the line. Yeah, yeah, damn near 50, 50, 40, 90. And it would have been 50. I think it would have been 50 though, Ted, a lot more times if he'd have took more um, mid-range shots. But I mean, he did a lot from some mid range from time to time. But from what I can remember, because I used to like JJ Redick. I liked the fact that he was able to move without the ball, but I wanted him to put the ball. He would put the ball on the floor, but it wasn't like all the time. Now he said something about Klay Thompson. And he said you didn't have ball handling skills like Klay Thompson. I love Klay Thompson to death. That's my favorite player on the Warriors. But Klay Thompson wasn't handling, he wasn't handling the ball like that. He could handle the rock, but Klay Thompson was more like movement. His idols, I think, were Reggie Miller and Ray Allen. That's who he patterned his game after. A lot of people really didn't like that style of play either. When people forget about Rip Hamilton, before when Rip Hamilton had came out of UConn, he was always handling the rock. But then once he got with the Pistons and stuff, he started studying players like Reggie Miller and Ray Allen. Because you got to think Ray Allen went to UConn too. People got to understand that Ray Allen used to put the ball on the floor. Ray Allen used to dribble. Ray Allen used to go through that lane and dunk on folks. Playing in that Big East back when they would play against like Georgetown and all that. But anyways, man, to get back to Austin Rivers. I mean, you really can't talk no more shit about JJ Redick than you can about yourself, because you didn't. Austin Rivers, if you really want to be honest, like Ted was saying, JJ Redick had a better career than you. If we want to go there, if we want to talk about numbers and all that stuff, everybody like to talk about numbers all the damn time. Go look at the numbers. And look, like I said, it don't take away nothing. Now, I do know this, that he's not a very light person. You said Rivers. No, man, look, man, I'm not going to call nobody, Ted, man, that's the thing with me. If you've been knowing me for a while, that's your opinion. But I don't call people bums. I don't call people trash on this channel. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't no superstar, and he wasn't anything. That's just like shout out to Kwame Brown too. I stand on this, man. Kwame Brown wasn't no bust, man. He wasn't no bust, because the way I see it, man, you made it to the league, and you actually made it past the that limit to where some guys don't. I think the average NBA career only lasts about 3 years or something like that. Kwame Brown played a decade or more. That's not a bust. Now, it might not, in your eyes, it might not be, oh yeah, well, he didn't score, 20 and 10 and all that other stuff. And I know some people are gonna be like, they're gonna bring up the argument, well, he came out of high school. He was supposed to be the number one guy and all this other stuff. Hey, look, the NBA, it's not, everybody's not gonna have that reach the pinnacle of success in the NBA. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. And I know some people get mad when I say that, but nah, he ain't. Austin Rivers ain't no bum. Because that same person that you calling the bum, man, he'll go to a regular adult league and light your ass up. Or by that logic too. This is what I tell them, Ted. Everybody's like, they talk all this shit about Russell Westbrook, calling him Russell Westbrook and all this other stuff. Go to Rico Hines and stand in front of him and see if you could guard him. Russell Westbrook will blow right past you. So nah, he definitely wasn't no bum, but he wasn't no superstar. Let's see what this guy doing. But yeah, man, both of them guys, man, they had okay careers, but they weren't no superstars or anything. But I will say this, man, JJ Redick, man, he needs to he does sound bitter. Even though that he was right, he do sound bitter a lot of times, and sometimes he sounds, kind of bitter with some of his takes. It's just like with Shaq. You said bums are worse than scrub hair because bums have talent, just inconsistent. Man, no, man, nah, Ted. I can't give you that, man. I can't give you that, Ted. I'm sorry. I can't give you that. A bum is a bum. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no. I don't know how you. How can you, man? If you a bum, then you trash in my eyes. I mean, there's no. We could try to break down the scientific, the definition and all that. Nah, man. But if you make it, if you step foot on an NBA floor, if you step foot on a overseas floor, you know what I'm saying, TJ? For real, man. Like that's just like okay with boxing, right? Everybody's like, oh yeah, well Canelo is trash, or Mayweather, he's trash, or even when Jamel Charlo had dared to be great and moved up 2 weight classes, and he was like, man, he said he was gonna do it for the culture and stuff like that. Well, you step your ass in the ring and try to face Canelo. That's cap. That's cap, Ted. That's cap. You trying to stir the pot for real, for real. No, that's cap. If you average 20, you're not no bum. You're not a bum even if you're in the league averaging 5 points. That's just like with Bronny, right? With Bronny James. Bronny James, I never saw anyone average 20 and be considered a bum. It don't matter. It don't matter. That same guy that you calling a bum, Ted, like I said, you go guard him. You'll have a new frame of mind. The same guy. I mean, look, you can't look at these guys like stick figures. Whether you on a bad team or a good team, you're not considered no bum if you make it in the league. But what was I saying? Yeah, with Jamel Charlo, he had dared to be great, and he tried to do his thing or whatever and come up in there, but people are saying, oh yeah, he's done and all this other stuff. But the fact you're not realizing that he moved up 2 weight classes off of an injury. But that's what I'm saying. It's prisoner of the moment. Like, okay, I'll name some people that a lot of people they say that they're trash or they're bum or all this other stuff. Like a lot of people think that Rudy Gobert is trash or a bum. Rudy Gobert is not trash or a bum. What about him? I mean, he's not focused right now. We could talk about it right now. Hey, you know how we do, TJ, man. Hey, man, listen, man. You know how I do. We get we get straight to the point. Look, Charlo is not focused. He's up in there drinking. He need to be getting ready. He talking about all this stuff. He want to face this person. He want to face Canelo eventually, man. And that's the thing. I know he was going through a lot, but he was working with Roy Jones Jr. That's not a light thing. He was supposed to be working with. You say you feel bad for him mentally. Listen, it's old school. Yeah, Rudy Gobert. No, Rudy Gobert. But see, I wanted to say this. Hold on one sec, TJ. All right, look. Rudy Gobert was so easy to expose when he was playing with Utah because all you had to do they figured out they did. But see, the same thing that they were doing with Rudy Gobert they did to Jokic, but Jokic is more cerebral. They were pulling him out to the perimeter. They were baiting him, and that everybody started to figure that out. And everybody was wondering why this guy was, defensive player of the year and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But people were calling him trash. I never looked at Rudy Gobert as trash because if if Rudy Gobert was to step inside of a gym right now, and you needed to pick him up, and you want to you want a defender on your team, and you want a rebounder, somebody to rebound and block shots. That's why, like, if I never frowned on people that would hustle, play defense, dive on the floor, stuff like that. You might look at them as trash, but they're not trash because they're beneficial to your team. Cleanup guys, lockdown defenders, 3-and-D guys. There's a lot of people that call those guys trash. It's just like Marcus Smart. I've seen Marcus Smart in person. I've seen him play. It was him and Emmanuel Moutier. They came out here. They came to Fort. Well, they were at Fort Worth, but what's his name? Marcus Smart. He's from an area in Dallas, out in Flower Mound or whatever. But everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Marcus Smart. He trash and all this other stuff." Man, Marcus Smart will kill you. He will blow right past you and dunk on your ass. Fans called him a scrub, but anyone, yeah, Ted. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, man, shout out to Sean Bradley for what he's going through, man. It's a terrible thing what he's going through. But with Charlo, TJ, man, you you write your own book, okay? You make your own bed. You lie in it, right? You create your own legacy, okay? I want to make that abundantly clear. As bad as I want to feel for Charlo, I don't, because you have to be able to bounce back in this game. Now, they brought a lot of stuff on themselves, TJ. I know he's going, the situation he's going through at home and stuff, or he was going through at home and stuff. But like I said, nobody really cares about that. You got with you went out to Florida. You told everybody on the media. At least we had that perception that everything was going okay with you. We were under the assumption that you were fine. You were ready to get back into the ring. Well, he had that. He was working. I think Roy Jones Jr. He had came out there to Florida to get some sort of healing. TJ, from my understanding, I gotta talk to the brothers in the LDBC about that. He was supposed to be like getting some like mental help out there in Florida when he was out there with Roy Jones. A loner? What you talking about, man? Ted, man, you being a little rough on these guys, man. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I that's what I'm saying. I was under the assumption because he was supposed to be getting some help. I I, I think I recall it was either Monty. It was either Monty or everything boxing with Keon. Shout out to them brothers out there, Monty Brown TV and everything boxing. But they were supposed to be getting some. Charlo was supposed to be getting some mental help out there. You know, because in Florida they got a lot of that stuff. You know, a lot of people go to Florida. They go to Florida and Arizona for like mental health stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? From my understanding. But yeah, then shout out to 78 Sports. He sent me that video. It was him and Cali Enigma. Shout out to him too. They they uh they had showed a video of Charlo drinking and stuff. And I don't judge anybody for drinking or anything like that, but I mean, come on, man, you gotta. Okay, you telling people that you focus and stuff like that, people gonna look at you differently. Shit, I don't care what drug you do. You know what I'm saying? But people want to see you get back on the field. I mean, in the ring. That's just like with Michael Irvin. Now that I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, like with Michael Irvin, he's my favorite all time receiver. And people like, oh, how could you like Michael Irvin? He was on drugs and all this other stuff. Hey, when he got on the field, he did his job though. Or how could I like somebody like Dennis Rodman? Oh, he drank and party too much. But one thing that you could